Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level ranked cast. I'm bringing you some of the best top-level competitive games from the ranked server and any tournaments I can get my hands on while we wait for Season 2 of MRC to begin. Thank you all very much for watching. We're of course covering this because the replays were broken with the new patch, and this may be what we have to do from now on going forward. We're on EU today. This is a replay I was able to find while scrolling through the high-level replays that have happened recently. Let's talk about the teams. We're of course going to be calling them Blue Team and Red Team because that's what they are. We're on Yggdrasil Path, and we're starting off with the Human Torch ban. Now, that might seem weird. I recently covered a $2,000 tournament where the Human Torch is actually starting to see a lot of play. The new changes, the buffs, seem to have made them a lot more viable. So it's not too surprising to me to see that getting rid of here. We're also going to see the removal of Hela and Groot and Spider-Man. Reasoning for this, whether it's the real player or not, Necros is in the game. I believe that is the real Necros. We also have some familiar names in the form of Team Captain from Twisted Minds and Our Year fame, as well as a couple others. We're going to be heading on into this game. It's of course a ranked game, so it's a best out of one, and we are going to see M2 Zuri looking at the Emma Frost right away here, and a Mr. Fantastic for Lumiqe. Very interesting, a lot of flexibility, and of course, the Rocket Raccoon, recently buffed, the most dominant force right now when it comes to the supports. It's basically appearing in almost every single game. It's just really good. Let's introduce our players. Excuse me. On the left-hand side, in the blue trunks, it is going to be Delcy on the Invisible Woman, Mangitsu playing the Magneto, SLooM will be playing the Rocket Raccoon, MJD bringing out the Winter Soldier, FHDc will be playing the Psylocke, and Necros is bringing out the Black Panther. This is a triple duelist composition, very risky. See if it works out for them. And on the red side, it is going to be TTV Matty 1v9 playing the Rocket Raccoon, Team Captain on the Incredible Hulk, M2 Zuri playing the Emma Frost, yulwe will be playing the Namor with that new team up with the Hulk, KR Mogger will be on the Cloak and Dagger, and Lumiqe is bringing out the Mr. Fantastic. A much more standard 2-2-2 for the side of Red Team right now, as they already try to get a little bit of pressure. Lumiqe keeping their team topped up. You can see they're using that quick stretch whip play. A little bit of tech to hit multiple targets already in that inflated mode, forced to pull on back. Trying to pressure in aggressively. Necros on the wraparound, looking for a flank, see if they can get a little bit of damage, pick someone off nice and early here. Try and stop them at that corner. Sees a Cloak and Dagger. Here comes the Seer, which may be enough to stop the burst from coming in. In fact, Necros does not find the elimination as they continue to push on in. yulwe on the cart right now, using cover. The Monstros are summoned. A lot of burst. Stars of the Butterfly. Aquatic Blessing to retreat to the high ground. In comes the Gamma Monstro to try and get the pressure into the backline to take out F. But they're tanking on through. FHD able to escape. In comes Necros. But again, yulwe basically untouched so far. Not finding the eliminations, but they're not getting picked off either. Another Aquatic Blessing to block that out as Mangitsu is taken out. But got some hyper aggression. Down goes FHD. And Red Team pushing in super aggressively right now. Necros gets stunned out, locked down. Team Captain has been forwarding this. The portal comes in from the Doctor Strange, but it's too late. The point has already been reached. Immediately, they're just going to let that portal go and teleport out. Necros moving over to the Iron Fist. Iron Fist has also seen a pretty large jump in popularity with the buffs this season. Going for a little bit of premeditation in order to get that little bit of overshield, a little bit of overhealth. Nice deflex. Both of them just sort of posturing at each other. Both going for the deflex. The absorption form. In comes the ultimate from Lumiqe. The Brainiac bounce into the backline to try and take him down, but they're all too tanky right now. And in comes Iron Fist with the burst. Necros with the pickup of the BRB will bring back Lumiqe. Here comes the Dance of the Butterfly into the backline for FHD to try and burst them, but the Seer once again will tank them through here. Horde of Proteus coming down, and that sets up yulwe to take out SLooM. Psionic Supremacy, not enough from M2 to control that. Delcy will get a quick heal. In comes the Living Weapon from Necros, trying to chase down the Hulk. Not able to do so, but will be able to retreat back into the rest of their team and pick off Mr. Fantastic, who was deep in the backline, taking out MJD. Trying to push on in. Portal coming out. Reinforcements this time from M2 Zuri, getting off of that Emma Frost at least for a moment so that they can make their way in. yulwe sending in shots as best they can, taking a lot of damage. Has to go into that Aquatic Blessing, trying to get into that track that's been left by the Cloak and Dagger so they can get healed up fully, and they will do so. Big Hulk smash from Team Captain to try and successfully interrupt the Eye of Agamotto. Team Captain on point there with the save. Here comes the Dance of the Butterfly to try and buy some time, try and maybe clean out some of these attackers. FHD picked off though, leaving just Necros to try and burn through this attacking force, but they're so outnumbered, they will be picked off here. Team Captain keeps the healing going, keeps the zoning up as they are being sustained by Maddie here. Trying to pressure in. Brainiac bounce once again for Lumiqe. Horde of Proteus. Beautiful setup. Beautiful finish. The double elimination. And they are pushing in so aggressively right now. Pulling in the rocket. Trying to prevent the escape. Gets the elimination. And that is a Mr. Fantastic Hulk dive together. Lumiqe here with the next level plays. Setting up beautifully. Mangitsu on the Doctor Strange has that Eye of Agamotto. Interrupted last time, but they've got an opportunity to try and turn this round. M2 Zuri is back on that Emma Frost. Got quite a bit to go now before they will have that Psionic Seduction back. Diamond form, diamond kick, retreating out of that invisible boundary though, which has shut them down, getting focused here, trying to hold the line. MJD has also brought out their own Emma Frost here, making this finally a two-tank setup. 4 defenders on blue team, Dance of the Butterfly to try and burst on through, finds nothing, but does not get picked up. They're able to get out of there. yulwe dropped exceptionally low here, finally picked off by FHD, who's on the flank, brought back at the BRB. Mag is deep in there. Again, just getting stun-locked here. Psionic Seduction shut down here. M2 interrupted. Put on the half cooldown. Trying to push on through. M2, Matty, yulwe being chased down here. Picked off. And the defenders will hold here at 81 meters with 1 minute and 54 seconds to go. This is still absolutely defendable here. Brainiac bounce at the ready. Horde of Proteus and Hulk smash with 81 and 66% from Rocket and the Emma Frost here. On the other side, Eye of Agamotto, Psionic Supremacy. Seduction, sorry, and Living Weapon. Here comes that Psionic Seduction to try and bring them in, lock them down. There comes the Aquatic Blessing to get out of danger, to make sure that they're not going to get locked down. That will hold them for now, but it's still going to be the defenders cleaning out here, taking the position, turning around, wiping Mr. Fantastic. And blue team will hold the line for the moment. Trying to set up, looking for an opportunity if anyone oversteps.
Only 60 seconds left.
Team Captain getting zoned away here. Dance of the Butterfly at the ready. Seers for both teams now. yulwe sending out the squids. Look at the damage, but Necros trying to chase deep into the backline, just eats all of it here. Dance of the Butterfly, invisible boundary, Seers for both sides to make sure that the team is getting the shielding, but it's not enough. yulwe gets eaten here. M2 is down. Living Weapon, Necros chasing down the Hulk, who was all that was left as the team gets wiped here. Blue team hold again. Portal to trap them in the spawn. Maddie, they have a chance of being able to slip out here. If there's a small enough gap, then Rocket can escape. Rocket is out. Meaning Rocket could, in theory, try and sneak past to make it to the car if their team cannot, but they're still just going to try and run it in. In comes M2 with the portal. They're getting focused down, trying to give their team time. They touch it. They make the overtime as they make their way in to try and defend this. Necros on the point, trying to remove the members. Team captain is going to be the one holding this line, at least for the moment. The portal giving them a couple extra seconds. The Mr. Fantastic holding the line. Then is a very sustaining character. Brainiac bounce to chase back the Invisible Woman. Remove the sustain. They're trying to get this in the last possible moment. Red team push on through, getting pickup after pickup. Delcy returns at the BRB. Necros is the first up, but they're not going to re-engage here. They need to wait for their team, and that card is creeping forward. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They have to maybe try and dive it here. Pre-shielding so that they have the best chance at holding this, making their way in to the point, focusing onto the Strange before they drop down low. Hulk up to the high ground, does the butterfly to try and do the damage, stepping up to keep them busy. FHD to try and clean out the attackers here, to try and put a stop to this. Yulwe is on the flank, Psionic Seduction. They can't land the Horde of Proteus through the doorway, picks up FHDc. To try and delay this, to try and buy time, getting locked down by the diamond form. Lumiqe is still up, they're still holding, finally going down, but they will be brought back. And they are forced off the point. A valiant defense, a great hold by the blue team. Now they just need to exceed the distance. Nicely done. The teams now swapping sides. Despite what it says up the top, this is just something that's happened with Season 2. Blue team will now be on the attack, not the defense. Looks like they may be sticking with this Iron Fist, FHD. Looking to hover on that Psylocke. Red team, no changes so far at all. Going to be sticking with that Mr. Fantastic and that Namor damage combo. Getting the team up, the Fantastic Four team up from KR. And just running the rocket because it's good. The healing is really good now. The ultimate actually sustains you through fights, but obviously targeting down those seers becomes very important in those team fights, taking it out quickly. I think if we do see any adjustments to Rocket at Season 2.5, at the halfway point before MRC, we'll probably see a health reduction onto the seer, if I had to guess. Because right now they're in basically every game. Mangitsu leading the front line on that Magneto. Using the team up with the Emma to create those illusions. Create a little bit of a distraction. Using that mind link. Pushing forward already. M2 Zuri is down. Comes back at the BRB. Team captain getting weakened. Able to disengage as Lumiqe, fully shielded in that inflated form, is acting as the third tank essentially here. The off tank. But this kind of sets up Necros with that percentage damage to try and melt people here. Gets hit with the radioactive lockdown. Will Dragon Kick to get out of danger. Turns that attention onto the Mr. Fantastic and absolutely melts them here. The deflects are good into the backline, causing so much pressure. Emma Frost goes down, locked down again. Gamma Monstro, roundhouse kick with the dragon power behind them. Necros pulls on back, but they've done their job. They have zoned away the members of Red Team beautifully here. Once again, onto the Hulk, trying to meld on through. They got the Gamma Monstro, hit by that stun from the Horde of Proteus, but they're going to hold it. M2 brings the portal in to try and delay this. Psionic Seduction to pull them back to get onto Mogger, who will go down. Lumiqe is trying to buy time with a Brainiac bounce, takes out one, looking for Necros, who is a living weapon right now, burning through everyone in their path. finds Mr. Fantastic, found Strange, finds Hulk, finds Banner. And that's gonna be a team wipe. We will see blue team get to point number 1.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Yulwe. Hanging out. Vibing. Talking. Chatting. Healing up. Maddie 1v9 has been putting on a great job with the healing. Same with SLooM. We'll have to check at the end of the game to see which one gets the higher numbers. See a beacon available for that extra overshield if they need for the burst healing. Necros already topped back up after getting hit so hard. Team captain giving their best. That cooldown reduction onto the Hulk's indestructible guard to try and buy time, but Invisible Boundary will be the ability to get used here. SLooM with the Seer, start onto Delcy to try and lock him down. Meteor M hits absolutely nothing, does the butterfly. In comes Team Captain, shielding their team to make sure that they hold the line, and with that and the Seer, they will delay everything. Horner Proteus into the backline. Necros falls, will get revived at the BRB, but into the backline. Here comes the Meteor M to try and take out the backline, finds Lumiqe and M2, and the living weapon is back again to weaken them up, soften them. Finds no targets. Oh, hi, Invisible Woman. Able to find the Invisible Woman, trying to focus onto KR to take them down. Split attacks from both sides. MJD gets the elimination. The flanking engage here. Lumiqe trying to step up. Trying to absorb the damage, but cannot find the full engages. Quick shield onto their Emma Frost to try and buy time. Now onto the Hulk, getting focused down. Necros is relentless right now, finding another pickup, turning the attention onto the Hulk, who will Hulk smash. Just melting that hit point pool though. Team Captain, they're already out back into Banner. Necros falls. The Team Captain is going down here, gets taken out, brought back at the BRB. This does mean they get a free transformation. Making their way in. Sees the Psylocke on the high ground, who is also teamed up with the Emma Frost. That wasn't the real one. An illusion, causing a distraction. Here comes the Brainiac bounce. Psionic seduction for MJD. Pulls in Maddie and KR. It is a beautiful setup here. And even doing a full flip onto the Hulk. Stars of the butterfly from Yulwe to try and turn this, to try and stop the push from blue team as they are creeping in over and over the duel. Great pickup from Yulwe, who has abandoned the Namor. Team Captain has brought out the Magneto here. They're going all in for the Emma Frost team up, giving those extra bodies on the board, almost exactly mirroring the composition from blue team, except for Necros still being the only one on that Iron Fist. The lockdown, the Emma Fist crowd control is too good here. FHD trying to hold the line. Maddie and KR, they overlap their support ultimates here. FHD will back out. M2 does have that psionic seduction to try and lock him. They've driven back the members of blue team, at least for the moment, forcing them round the corner. FHD with Dance of the Butterfly in the backline, takes out Rocket, focuses down the main tank here, as Magneto is going to eat a lot of that damage, will get picked off by KR. Lumiqe, another Brainiac bounce, it's coming back so quickly here. Holding the line as best they can. Not going to get a pickup as Emma Frost is a bit too tanky. Diamond form getting locked down. Trying to hold. Absorbing damage with the Fantastic Four team up for that little bit of extra sustain. They're buying every second they can. Here's the thing to try and delay even longer. But that's a good target for Necros. That percentage damage is going to eat through the thing if they can get onto it here. Media M coming in from Team Captain. Finds no one. FHD revived at the BRB. Necros finds one already. Team Captain falls and is beginning to just focus down the backlines. Will get out of that Dance of the Butterfly. Forced to retreat as we will see the defense coming in for red team. They do hold with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. The flag, FHD. pressuring them from above here.
Get that vehicle moving again.
They get picked off already, just harassing that little bit of an overextend, but no one gets punished for it.
Only 60 seconds left.
Making their way in. Psionic Seduction is available. And here it comes, trying to lock down the front line. The barriers are too much, though. MJD gets deleted here. Invisible Boundary was dropped by Mogger, though, to try and shut this down. Kilometering Time comes out. Dances the Butterfly takes out Maddie, which means no BRB as Brainiac bounce following up to try and counter the Eye of Agamotto as Necros comes in with the living weapon to try and clean out the defenders here, doing huge damage. Lumiqe is absorbing as much as they can, but how much sustain do they have? Rocket chased down, the lock-on from Iron Fist, targeting them out here. Rocket is so mobile, though. Down to the Butterfly from Yulwe to try and clean out the attackers, gets them. Mangitsu onto the thing to try and give them one last chance with 5 seconds left. They need someone to touch the point. It will be SLooM making it on in Battled Leap to buy that couple extra seconds. It's all about Mangitsu, though, to try and hold the line. Cleaned off, though. Who else can touch? Who else is there? Necros coming in, trying to get there, but is picked off. And Red Team are going to hold.
3.
9 meters in it. An intense game there. Yulwe taking MVP at the end there. Well, they did swap off of that Namor partway through. Having that gave them a lot of burst that they might not have. They had a lot of like sticking overtime damage, and as such, they do huge damage numbers, 34k. But look at the difference. FHD on the Psylocke. 36k, 35k for Lumiqe. Showing the value of that Mr. Fantastic. Top healing does go over to FHD, though, sticking with that Psylocke for almost the entire game, and it worked out beautifully. Not enough to secure the win, but enough to just really cement their name here. They did get taken out the most, though, getting punished when they dove in a couple of those times. Person who got taken out the least is going to be SLooM, playing that Rocket, very mobile, try and get out of danger, just make sure you don't get targeted down. Right behind them, Delcy and Matty. And Mangitsu, though, able to get a huge turnaround there in terms of the amount of times they're able to stay alive, despite playing tank almost the entire game. Very cool to see. Top final hits. Also going to be Yulwe, while FHD only got 19. Yulwe with 25 there. Putting on quite the show. Top damage blocked. It's pretty close. There's 53k, 53k, 55k. Mangitsu will be able to bring it home by just under 2k. 13 final hits of their own and 28k damage as well. 33 eliminations. 43 eliminations, by the way, is the highest for MJD. And the top healing, almost a tie. 100 in it. It's going to be SLooM who will take that. 43k. No, sorry, SLooM is beaten out by Matty by 100. So close between the two. Literally 109 in it between the two. Maddie doing huge work. Same with SLooM. Big shout outs to both of them. The new Rocket. It's pretty effective. SLooM did also get 1k more damage. 1.5k, sorry, more damage than Maddie. So a little bit of a difference is found there. But, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's game. I hope you have all enjoyed. I am Tetcher. I am your caster for today. I bring you any replays of tournaments and stuff that I do find. I bring you MRC when that comes around every season. I'll be covering it a little differently this season because I have now been betrayed by the replays going away. So I was, I've got a bit of dust. The replay system means I was not able to finish my coverage of Season 1, so I'm a little cautious about how I cover MRC in the future now. I will still be bringing it to you. I am also, if you run a tournament, if you're a tournament organizer and you would like your replays covered, then send them over. I'm literally looking for replays to cover, so send in your own replay IDs. Scour through games. If you're someone who likes to watch pro players play, or you watched a player play on the stream and you thought that that game was spectacular and it deserves a cast, then send it over. We are open to submissions here. We'll be doing some special ones. We'll be doing some bronze submissions, some bronze games if you want to send some in. That would be appreciated. When we hit 5,000 subscribers, which we are, where are we with that? I can actually look. I have that power. We are at 4,929 subscribers at the time of me recording this. When we hit 5,000, we will be streaming again, which means I'll be doing these replays as a stream. So you might see a chat over here next to me in the future. That means I will be streaming now, and I'll be trying to stream on definitely Twitch, possibly YouTube as well, if my computer can handle it. And I'll be doing a load of replays there and sort of picking the best ones to upload to YouTube, and also interacting with the chat a bit. And yeah, outside of that, if anyone's looking to sponsor a tournament, I've been looking to start a tournament right now, but budget is something I really do not have. So if anyone feels like sponsoring something, then let me know. And also, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, because that is really important right now, because we have had to pivot the content due to the replays changing. So helping with the algorithm by interacting with the video in any way, shape, or form is helpful. It's so helpful. Or you can become a member to support the channel in, well, my time of need, quite frankly, where you can help support directly, like our wonderful members that we have currently in the form of Roshula, Doki Poki, and John. If you become a member, you will also get a shout out at the end of the video. For now, though, I hope you have all enjoyed. I have been Tetcher. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.